The husband episode 8 moves away from the intense rescue mission that has driven much of the series and instead focuses on uncovering the disturbing truth hidden beneath everything that has happened so far. While previous episodes presented the conflict as a personal battle between Tae-ju and Man-hee, this chapter reveals that both men have actually been caught inside a much larger conspiracy involving unethical medical research, abuse of power, and devastating personal loss. Instead of relying on action and suspense, the episode takes a slower and more emotional approach. Every revelation adds another layer to the mystery, while forcing viewers to reconsider the motivations of several important characters. By the end of the episode, it becomes clear that the real villains may not simply be the people carrying out crimes, but those who have spent years hiding the truth behind respected careers and powerful positions. One of the most emotional parts of the episode comes through the flashbacks showing Tae-ju's life before everything fell apart. The series reminds viewers that Tae-ju was once living the life he had always dreamed of. He was a respected doctor, deeply admired by his colleagues and surrounded by people who trusted his judgment. More importantly, he shared a loving marriage with Se-yoon, who stood beside him through every challenge without hesitation. The flashbacks also highlight the warmth of their family life with their daughter Haeun. These scenes are not included simply to create nostalgia. They serve an important purpose by reminding viewers exactly what Tae-ju has lost. Throughout the series, Tae-ju has often appeared emotionally distant and completely consumed by his search for answers. Episode 8 reminds us that beneath that determination is a man trying to recover what remains of the life that was taken from him. Although he knows he can never truly regain everything he lost, he refuses to stop searching for the truth because it is the only way to honor the people he loves. The investigation itself takes a dramatic turn when Tae-ju notices unusual irregularities involving an artificial bone implant. At first, it appears to be nothing more than another medical mystery. However, as he digs deeper, he uncovers evidence suggesting that fetal stem cells were used in research without the knowledge or permission of the families involved. This discovery transforms the story. The conspiracy is no longer limited to corruption or hidden crimes. It becomes a horrifying case of unethical medical experimentation. The episode carefully explains that unborn children became research material without parental consent. For grieving families, the loss of a child was already an unimaginable tragedy. Learning that their children were secretly used in illegal medical experiments makes the crime even more disturbing. The central figure connected to these revelations is Dr. Ko. Interestingly, the drama avoids portraying him as a traditional mastermind driven by greed or personal revenge. Instead, Dr. Ko believes that sacrificing unborn children is justified if the research benefits future medical progress. From his perspective, the scientific results outweigh the human cost. That belief makes him an especially unsettling antagonist because he convinces himself that his actions serve a greater purpose. The episode makes it clear that scientific advancement without ethics becomes incredibly dangerous. No matter how valuable medical discoveries may be, they lose all meaning if they are achieved through exploitation and the complete disregard for human dignity. Perhaps the biggest emotional revelation involves Man-hee. Until now, he has largely been presented as the unstable kidnapper responsible for putting Tae-ju through endless suffering. Episode 8 completely changes that perspective. While sitting in detention, Tae-ju remembers something Kyung-gi previously told him. As the pieces finally come together, he realizes that Dr. Ko secretly used the unborn child of Man-hee and Kyung-gi during the illegal stem cell research program. The truth explains the immense grief both parents have carried for years. Their child was not simply lost. Their unborn baby became a victim of an inhumane medical conspiracy. This revelation does not excuse Man-hee's crimes. Kidnapping, torture, and violence remain completely unjustifiable. However, the audience finally understands why his obsession with revenge became so overwhelming. He is not motivated by money or ambition. He is a grieving father who allowed his pain to consume every part of his life. The tragedy of his story lies in the fact that his desire for justice gradually transformed into blind vengeance. Rather than exposing the truth through lawful means, he chose violence, creating even more victims along the way. The episode succeeds because it presents Man-hee as a deeply damaged human being instead of a one-dimensional villain. Another important development involves Dr. Ha. Once Tae-ju is released from custody, he immediately seeks him out, believing that Dr. Ha knows far more than he has admitted. The two doctors share a history through Kyunggi's treatment, making Dr. Ha one of the few remaining people who might expose the conspiracy. As their conversations unfold, Dr. Ha appears increasingly uncomfortable. His behavior suggests someone trapped between guilt and fear. Unlike Dr. Ko, Dr. Ha does not seem driven by ideology. Instead, he appears haunted by the consequences of decisions he either participated in or failed to prevent. His hesitation creates the impression that he wants to reveal the truth but fears the consequences of doing so. This emotional conflict makes him one of the episode's most sympathetic characters. He is not portrayed as innocent. He is portrayed as someone who allowed terrible things to happen and now struggles to live with that burden. The investigation also changes Tae-ju's personal priorities. Earlier in the series, he had already decided that leaving Se-yoon would be the best choice. He believed she deserved the opportunity to find happiness away from the endless pain surrounding his life. Even when his own family encouraged him to stay, Tae-ju insisted that his decision was made for Se-yoon's future rather than his own. Episode 8 completely changes that mindset. Now that the conspiracy is becoming clearer, Tae-ju decides he cannot walk away. He chooses to remain beside Se-yoon because uncovering the truth may directly affect both of them. A particularly haunting question begins forming in his mind. If unborn children were secretly used for illegal research, could similar unethical practices have affected other patients connected to the hospital? His thoughts eventually turn toward Haeun. Although Haeun was much older than the unborn children connected to the stem cell program, Tae-ju begins wondering whether she too may have become an unknowing victim of hidden medical experiments. The episode does not provide an answer. Instead, it introduces another mystery that raises the emotional stakes even further. Tae-ju's investigation is no longer driven solely by justice for strangers. It has become deeply personal. If Haeun's death is connected to the conspiracy, exposing the truth becomes the only way he can honor her memory. Everything builds toward the episode's devastating final sequence. Just as viewers believe Dr. Ha may finally reveal everything he knows, Tae-ju discovers him dead. The apparent cause of death is a potassium chloride injection. This detail immediately raises suspicion because potassium chloride can be extremely difficult to detect under certain circumstances, making it a method often associated with carefully planned murders. Dr. Ha's death completely changes the investigation. The man who appeared closest to exposing the conspiracy has suddenly been silenced forever. The timing feels far too convenient to be a coincidence. Naturally, suspicion immediately falls upon Dr. Ko. After everything revealed throughout the episode, eliminating someone who could expose years of illegal research would certainly benefit him. However, the ending deliberately avoids confirming his involvement. Instead, it leaves viewers questioning whether Dr. Ko is truly the mastermind or merely another important figure working for someone even more powerful. That uncertainty becomes the episode's greatest strength. The conspiracy now feels much larger than a single corrupt doctor. It suggests the existence of an entire network capable of manipulating investigations, protecting influential figures, and eliminating anyone who threatens to reveal the truth. By ending with Dr. Ha's sudden death, the series reminds viewers that every answer Tae-ju uncovers places him in even greater danger. The closer he gets to exposing the conspiracy, the more ruthless his enemies become. Episode 8 marks a major shift in the husband. What began as a deeply personal struggle between damaged individuals has evolved into a gripping investigation involving medical ethics, institutional corruption, and the devastating consequences of treating human lives as scientific resources. The emotional flashbacks remind viewers exactly what Tae-ju is fighting to protect, while the revelations surrounding Man-hee transform a seemingly straightforward villain into one of the drama's most tragic figures. Most importantly, Dr. Hu's shocking death proves that someone is willing to kill to keep these secrets buried. With the investigation reaching its most dangerous stage and new questions surrounding Haeun's past, the series heads into its next chapter with higher emotional stakes than ever before.